and welcome to For Better or Worse, a movie and TV podcast. The podcast where we review movies and TV. Follow us on Instagram at FBOW_podcast and YouTube at FBOW podcast to show your support and tell us how much you like us. I'm Toby.
I'm Gino.
And today we're talking about Thor, Love, and Thunder.
Lightning effects. I don't know how to do that.
Thunder.
Okay. Toby, what do you think? Non-spoiler review. Go.
Non-spoiler review. From what I remember, so sorry, memory has failed me.
It's been like 3 days. There's too many days for Toby.
It's too many days. I laughed a lot. I thought it was hilarious. I thought Taika Waititi did a great job putting his humor into a Marvel movie, especially after we saw Doctor Strange, which had more horror, which was fine.
We liked Doctor Strange.
We liked it. It was a different movie. And coming into Thor, you know what you're going to get.
No, I want it to be the same. I'm going to complain a lot.
I want Thor 1 again. No, you don't. Okay, so I thought it was very colorful. I didn't notice any issues. I thought the characters were really great. I loved the way they all interacted with each other. Wanted to see more Christian Bale, and I think, but
I always want to see more Christian Bale.
I know, right?
He was like surprisingly fun. Like he doesn't seem like the kind of actor who does fun things.
He does fun. He's
like surprisingly fun.
You want to know what it's fun?
You can't spoil it.
Newsies.
Go. Oh, he was like 12.
You want to see fun, young Christian Bale? Watch Newsies. I'm going to bring up Newsies at least four more times.
I feel like you brought it up on the podcast like a lot.
It's going to be at least 4 more, so
okay.
Get ready for it.
All right, so for better or for worse?
For better.
Pretty obviously, yeah.
For better.
I think for me, yeah, it's definitely a comedy. So like I don't know what, like, because I think people on the internet have been like pretty mixed on this movie. And one of the biggest complaints is that there's too much comedy.
Wah, I hate laughing.
It's a comedy. I don't know. Like you saw Thor Ragnarok, you know it's a comedy. It's
right.
The same director. It's a comedy. I think they're going to do this for all the Thor movies from now on because Thor's ridiculous.
Thor's ridiculous, you guys. He is a god from a space Viking alien from another planet who has lived on Earth, who was probably fun in, where's he from? Starts with an A.
Norse land. Asgard?
He's probably super fun in Asgard, even though he was like...
In the first movie, he's like...
Shakespearean, whatever.
Yeah, I got like a Shakespeare director, I think.
But like, he's fun on Earth.
Yeah.
Enough.
And he's not like he was never like the comics. The one in the comics talks like actual like Shakespeare language and is very not fun and is like very serious. So like already he's different than the comics. So this is just different than... Thor 1 and 2 and like I was watching the Avengers yesterday again, or a clip from it because we just got our TV hung up. I was making sure the angles were good.
Did you watch the one scene that you always watch?
The main fight in New York, the Battle of New York.
No, so what Gino usually watches to at least test the color is the end game.
Oh, is the end game battle? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thor, no, to test HDR is Thor's lightning in that is like really bright in HDR. The original Avengers not super. I don't think it was made for HDR, so it's not like super great in HDR. Okay. But anyway, so like. He's the least good part of that movie. If you go back and watch the Avengers, like Thor in the Avengers is like, he's like lame and weird and like boring. He's the most boring character.
What is wrong with people? Don't you like to like? My issue is that I go to Marvel movies and watch Marvel shows to laugh and to
not always, but like
no.
I don't mind a comedy.
But so that's you.
Yeah,
I go and I watch them to have a good time. To see some action that is mixed in with comedy, like give me all the Spider-Man fights where I get to hear fun things. Give me all the Iron Man fights. I get to hear fun things. Like, that's why I go. I don't like DC movies because they're not funny.
Shazam
was fine,
funny.
I guess, on the funnier side. And I liked Peacemaker because I thought Peacemaker awesome. Was so funny.
Yeah, we need to re-review Peacemaker. It's so good.
Right. So, like, but that's... like my own personal take on why I go see Marvel to laugh. And Thor delivers so far for the past 2 movies.
I would say that if you're super into like the typical Marvel movie, this is more of a pure comedy than those. Just like Thor Ragnarok was. I would say that Thor Ragnarok and this are more comedy than even like Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like a different kind of comedy.
It's a different kind of comedy.
Yeah, this is more like jokey joke, funny.
Yeah. If you've seen What We Do in the Shadows... the movie.
Or, I mean, like, all the parts of Jojo Rabbit until the mom dies.
Right.
Spoiler alert. Then, like, yes, very funny. So, yeah, for me, it's for better. I don't think it's as good as Thor Ragnarok. But then there's another part of my brain is like, maybe this is better than Thor Ragnarok, because I was like rewatching parts of Thor Ragnarok, and I was like, maybe I do like this new one better. I have to like rewatch. It's going to be on Disney Plus in like a month, so I'm
right.
gonna have
So
to
we'll
rewatch it anyway.
both. Wait, don't do this without me because I want to watch. Thor Ragnarok's my favorite.
So yeah, Russell Crowe's awesome.
Didn't even know it was Russell Crowe.
I don't know how you know. He wasn't in disguise. He was regular
in disguise.
face.
I had no idea.
I don't know if he had a fat suit on or if he was
wore
just
a
fat.
dress. I had no idea it was him.
He had like a really ridiculous, goofy Greek accent. Russell Crowe, I don't even think he's a little bit Greek. Hilarious.
It's very Australian.
I thought Valkyrie was actually better in this than in Thor Ragnarok. People online are saying I'm wrong. That she was better in Thor Ragnarok because she was drunk all the time.
I think she had more to do in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, I also like that she's like, spoiler alert, I guess, it's in the trailer. She's like the king and she's like just kind of like bored and fed up with it. So like that's cool. Natalie Portman, surprisingly good. Like I don't remember her being particularly good in any of the other ones.
Or like anything else.
Yeah, so she's good. I guess I can't spoil we know she's Lady Thor, but we can't, sorry, not Lady Thor. You can't say Lady Thor.
She gets me.
Spoiler alert. Well, also in the comics, it's not called Lady Thor. It's called the Mighty Thor. Yeah, so she's great. Chris Hemsworth, great again. Although he's starting, I sound really mean saying this, he's starting to look like a little old. Like older.
I disagree.
If you go back and watch Thor Ragnarok in this, he doesn't look old. He just looks like he's aging.
Because he is.
Right, because he is aging. And like Thor's not supposed to. So I would not be surprised if they keep doing this. Which, like, I guess this is a little bit of a spoiler. They're probably going to make more of this. No, they'll probably just start de-aging him, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, just like a little bit here.
I say really throw the audience off. Put Liam in there.
Yeah, or give him some sort of disease. Some sort of, I have an ex-guardian disease. I get old. Something.
Right. I was like, what do you mean? Like kill him off?
Nah, okay, I get old like regular people.
So you don't want to run. You don't want to run with my idea.
Liam?
Throw Liam Hemsworth in there.
No, it's the worst Hemsworth.
Oh my God, he did great in
Matt Day. Spoiler, I guess we knew they were coming back anyway.
Gino, we can't do spoilers. You can't put spoilers in a non-spoiler review.
It's not a spoiler,
right? But it is.
Okay, so it was in the trailer. All right, so I guess I'll stop my non-spoiler review that I've spoiled things with.
He's not good at it.
For better, it's great. Go see it. You'll laugh. Don't expect anything serious. It's not a serious movie. I don't know. It was never advertised as a serious movie. I don't know why people are complaining it's too jokey. It's literally a comedy. Stop.
You guys know who the director is.
Yeah, this is the whole point of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that like each movie is supposed to be like a different thing. And then people complain that Marvel movies are too similar. And then when they make a movie that's like different, people get upset.
Stop, right? With what you're saying with that. You get, who directed Doctor Strange?
Sam Raimi.
You get mad. Oh, it's too
scary.
It's too scary. It's too different. And now you're going to complain. You get Taika Waititi, who is a comic director. That's what he does.
He's a comedian guy.
You're going to get a funny movie. If you hire the brothers, who are they?
The Russo brothers. You're going to get awesome whatever they make.
Right. And if you hire
They did Endgame. It
Guardians,
was awesome. And, James Gunn.
You're going to get good dialogue back and forth because all right,
it's comedy but different. And I guess so we're getting into spoilers for better. So I think my first critique, we just talked about how much we love this movie and I'm starting with a critique.
I think it's fair to critique it.
I think that so one of the rumors going around when James Gunn was canceled for a little bit. He was like canceled for a couple of years.
Yeah, I remember.
Because he did some tweets. He's like too liberal. So some like crazy Republican like found some tweet that he made that was like a bad joke. So he got in trouble. How dare you be too liberal, James Gunn?
I thought it wasn't a liberal thing. I thought he was
he got targeted because he's too liberal.
Because he's liberal, right? And he said something.
Made an AIDS joke. Don't make AIDS jokes. Don't be too liberal, I guess. Whatever. Okay. So he was canceled for a little bit. And the rumor was they were going to bring in Taika Waititi to do Guardians 3. Oh. And now I'm thinking that might have been a bad idea because Taika Waititi and the Guardians don't really mesh well together. I didn't think they were great in this movie.
Right, so that's what he's getting at. So, right, you start off with Thor's with the Guardians, but the banter between them wasn't used.
Yeah.
It was still, it's still a Thor movie. So you're going to have it focused on Thor. But, like, the writing for Star-Lord was bad.
It just seemed like it just seemed weird. It was like they were not, like Star-Lord didn't feel like Star-Lord. Chris Pratt didn't cut his hair. Like, no one even brushed his hair.
Right.
It just feels weird. It felt weird.
It felt weird. Like Rocket had like a line, like I felt like they were just thrown in there to do that.
Did you bring in Bradley Cooper?
Right, or did you just have somebody
or did he just do it in his house? Like, you brought him for one line?
What's the point?
So, there's a lot of people online complaining that they thought this was going to be a Guardians Thor movie, which I never thought. I mean, they pretty clearly advertised it as,
No, I thought it.
You thought it was? So maybe I'm wrong. But I was under the impression that they were probably only going to be in the beginning.
Well, my thing is,
and then the rest was just going to be Thor.
But why have such heavy hitters in the Marvel Universe only in for a little bit in a movie? Like, that's my thing. Because I wanted to see their dynamic. Because we saw
that would have been cool if it was the whole movie. You're right.
Because it would have been really interesting. Because we got a glimpse of the dynamic in what is it? Not Endgame. Before it.
Infinity War.
Infinity War, right? We saw
because he was hanging out with them.
Correct.
And that was like sad Thor.
That was sad Thor, but you still got the the competition between the boys and
Star-Lord and
right, and like it would have just been interesting. And then like he hangs out with Rocket, right? Like does the
Rocket
stuff with
likes
Rocket.
him, gives him an eyeball from his butthole.
Right. So like that would have been cool to see, and we got literally not. We didn't even get a cool fight scene.
We got a cool fight scene of just Thor as the Guardians in the background, like
doing nothing.
He's winning everything.
Like Drax is just laying there watching, rolling his eyes.
That fight would have been. I obviously realize it is a Thor movie, so I think what happened is they kind of wrote themselves into a corner because I think for Endgame and Infinity War they let the writers like do whatever they thought was best for the story. And then every movie after the fact has to like figure it out what's going on. So I think they were just kind of like left with whoever wrote this movie, Taika Waititi and someone else, was just left with like, Thor's with the Guardians. So like
do something.
And he's like, all right, cool, 5-minute cameo scene. So he pretty much gets. I was gonna say he leaves the Guardians, but he basically gets like kicked out of the Guardians.
Right, they're like
pretty much in the beginning because they're so annoyed with it, or at least Star-Lord's annoyed with him.
Yeah, they're all annoyed with him because then he gets the goats.
Oh, yeah, so he gets these really loud goats.
So we have to talk about that fight scene, though. That was great.
There's like weird little chicken Muppets.
If you've seen, I'm so sorry.
Fraggle Rock?
No.
No.
The Labyrinth. If you've seen Labyrinth. So 2 things that those weird, creepy things reminded me of. Please like my post on Instagram, FBOW_podcast, if you agree. They were like a mix of the weird Muppets, like the weird goblins. I don't think they're called goblins. Goblin King. And a mix of the things that take their head off. That sing that weird song like
we just watched this movie, I forgot.
They're like orange and they like take their heads off and they're like, let's take off your head. And she's like, what?
Nope.
No?
Don't remember.
So like our picture.
Thor beats him up though. That's an awesome scene.
It's an awesome scene.
He's using his hammer. He does a split. He has like, what do you think of his, Thor's got a lot of outfits in this. If you're like into Thor fashion.
I'm not.
It's a lot of outfits. What did you think of his Guardians outfit?
I don't know. I didn't notice it.
With the sleeveless red vest and the jeans?
Hip.
Yeah.
Into it. Hot.
I also like, there is like a lot of clothes-based jokes in this, in the sense that like, it's clear that like Thor cares a lot about how he looks because he changes his outfit a lot all the time, like with his magic powers. We'll get to it. I thought that like the Guardian stuff was kind of lame, but that it's over with and you're back to just Thor and Korg, and he gets these 2 goats, which in the comics he like, I don't know, it's like one of them is, or like in Norse mythology, it's like one of them is like Loki's kids, like Loki gives birth to it.
A freaking goat?
Because like Loki does girl guy stuff in Norse mythology. He's like a girl or a guy.
Goat? So he's like beast.
You know those woke lib ancient Norse people with their trans
I'm just upset that he's
gender Lokis.
He's having a goat.
Yeah, he like gives birth to a goat or a dragon or something like that.
Okay, dragon would have been cooler.
Or like a snake.
But so what Taika Waititi does with these goats is like, okay, the goats are super ridiculous looking. How can we make it more ridiculous? Oh, they're screaming. They
scream the whole time. The whole time.
And
Everyone
joke
hates it.
Did not get old for me. I was like the only one laughing in the theater the whole time. Just because it's like silence, it's like big important music, and then.
So these goats are screaming, and they like can drive in space or something. They're like space goats.
I don't know, whatever. Let them be.
All right, so the basic premise is that so the movie starts out with Christian Bale. I think there's like for like a 5-minute scene.
Oh, a long time.
It's pretty good. So like you see Christian Bale is an alien, although he kind of just like a human. He's in the desert somewhere with his daughter. His daughter dies of the desertness. Whatever deserts do.
Being in a desert, thirst.
And before he dies, he stumbles upon like the oasis where like the god that he worship is. And he's like, yay, I've made it to my god. Like, where's my great gift? The god's like, nope, there's no great gift. Screw you.
Right. You're just a person.
And so there's like a sword there.
Well, because they had just killed the last god killer.
Who has the necro sword.
Which in the
comics is related to Venom.
Cool.
It's like the same species as Venom.
Let's just tie it in. Let's just get Venom in here.
So, Christian Bale gets the sword, kills his god, and then vows to kill all gods in the universe.
Right. And essentially, like, he becomes cursed by the sword. Like,
yeah, and he gets superpowers from it.
Right.
Like, he's about as strong as Thor. He can, like, go toe-to-toe with Thor.
And he did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, we know from Jojo Rabbit that Taika Waititi can do, like, sad. And for, like, because one of my big things with movies is, like, don't kill off a character that I don't know yet because I won't care.
Ugh, Eternals.
But, like, that 5 minutes or not even, like, 1 minute when his daughter dies, I was, like, genuinely sad.
Right. Because like,
Christian Bale's a good actor, and yeah.
And the way that they portrayed it, like, he was carrying her. He was huddling her at night, like, keeping her warm, like... Just like fatherly things if you were both in the desert.
That was like the quickest, like, get me to care about a character and then I'm going to kill them I've ever seen. In a movie.
Mean, it also helped. Like, I didn't want anything to happen to Christian Bale
because he's Christian Bale. That's why they didn't put him in makeup because in the comics, Gore has like long tentacle like head and like they're not doing that with Christian Bale.
No,
you don't hire Christian Bale and then cover his face.
Right. He was also like quite thin.
Yeah, he could do that.
He can. Like, we were talking about all the body transformations Christian Bale had to go through for parts.
Weight, gains weight.
Insanity.
Probably his best villain role since Dick Cheney. Nope. He's a villain in Newsies?
No, I just going to say Newsies.
No, he's the villain in the Bush movie. He's Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney.
Could you imagine if that kind of character existed in real life? That Dick Cheney character? That'd be crazy. Like that kind of evil character in real life.
The person that existed?
Oh. Oops.
And also in Newsies.
Shots fired.
My third time. I got to save the last one.
One for the fourth time.
Yeah, I got to save it.
So, anyway, Jane has cancer.
Oh, wow. What a transition.
Jane has cancer.
Let's talk about more sad
So she has stage 4 cancer. Kat Denning makes her cameo. Never mentions WandaVision.
Which really threw me off because I was like, we're just going to gloss over. Like, we got our mention of it in Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Where he, like, goes to Wanda and she's like, I know this is about Westview. And he's like, no.
Yeah, and they show her with her kids. And
right. And in this, there's no, like, Kat Dennings, I'm part of this. Like, I know Agent, like, nothing. Like, no, like, back. I don't know. I guess it's
I could have used more Kat Dennings, I'll be honest. But, like, where do you put her in this movie?
It didn't make sense. What, is she going to go to space with them? No.
Well, yes. Like, I want to see her.
Yeah, but they never traveled in a ship for her. She would not survive.
She did a good job in WandaVision. I want more Kat Dennings.
I'm into that.
Give her some powers.
Ooh.
So, nothing's working. She has her one little conversation with Skarsgård. Old Skarsgård.
Dad Skarsgård. Dad Skarsgård was in it.
He's in it for like 1 second. He just tells her, like, yeah, none of the stuff that I know is going to help you.
Right. Sorry.
Why would you go to a physicist for help with your cancer? I don't know. So basically, Jane is dying.
We need an oncologist, which
Correct.
I guess we don't have one in
there. There are no oncologists in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's unfortunate.
So anyway, for some reason, her like Viking books, she like goes to the Viking books and she reads like, oh, Mjolnir has the power to like keep you young and keep you healthy or whatever.
Something like that.
So she goes to New Asgard, which is, I guess, where in Thor Ragnarok, where Hela blew up Mjolnir. Remember, she blows it up. She crushes it.
I didn't know that was where it was.
Yeah, that's where they made it.
Because like that was the nothing. Like nobody was there.
Well, it's where
what's his face turned
Odin
into
died,
dust
too. Yeah, so maybe that's where New Asgard is.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they have, I don't know how they did this, because they have Mjolnir in a
glass container.
Who put it in? Did Thor put it in there?
Maybe they just like rose it up from the ground, like built around it.
And then just lifted the ground up? Yeah. Can you do that? Is that allowed?
That's magic.
So like all those jokes about Thor putting his hammer on a toilet, if you just lift the seat without touching the hammer, you can do it?
No, I think what happened was they had to build down. So they
so they dug around it. And then they built the thing around it.
Correct.
But also like a car can hold Mjolnir. And if I move the car...
You can't move the car. Mjolnir's in it.
But you can drive with it in the car.
Yeah, but he's being...
And like the ship in the Avengers had it in there. It was able to drive. Answer the question, Stanley. How does this work?
Oh, man. But don't haunt us, please.
So anyway, Mjolnir like reacts to her presence and then like that's it. You don't see her again.
Which I heard a scene was cut of her transforming. I heard.
I would like to see that.
I know. I saw on Instagram or like internet, whatever, that there's a scene of her in like being like in the air,
turning into Thor.
Yeah.
I think it works better of us discovering it as Thor does.
Because of following his story.
Yeah. So anyway, Thor comes back to New Asgard, and then Gore shows up?
No.
Do we missing stuff? Yeah.
No, we're missing stuff.
Oh, no, Thor goes around to see the other gods that were killed. And he runs into Lady Sif.
So he eventually gets kicked out. Like, the problem is that the Guardians can only guard so many people together, so they split up. Because
and they're like, go away.
Thor's like, I gotta go help Sif.
Lady Sif, who's in the first
Yeah, but is it a
Thor
fuss
movie.
sound or a thuss sound?
Lady Sif.
F.
She was in Loki as well.
That
She
still
slapped
sounds like a th and a
Lady
fuss.
Sif. F sound.
Sif.
I'm not Norse. I'm not a Viking.
Okay, so Lady Sif is like, Thor, help me. And Guardians are like, you take her. We're going to take everybody else.
Take the goats.
Yeah, you take the goats. You take Korg, buddy.
Leave.
Go ahead. And I think one of the best lines, right? He goes to find Sif, and she's missing. She's like, leave me. Let me go to Valhalla. And Thor's like, you're still alive.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count. But she lost an arm. Maybe your arm is in Valhalla. That was like, that's classic.
Which they never played that joke up.
They did it.
They show Valhalla at the end.
At the end, there's no arm there.
They should have had a floating arm
freaking
waving.
hilarious.
Yeah, come on, guys.
What are you doing? Opportunity missed.
Yeah. So then Thor goes to New Asgard
Yes.
to talk to King Valkyrie
Right.
and be like, yo, there's a guy coming. He's going to kill everybody.
Yes.
Then it's nighttime. Then Gore shows up and sends out these like shadow monsters to kidnap all the Asgardian
So
babies.
let me tell you, here's like a fun fact about me. When I was young, I watched a lot of TV and I had Spaceballs on. And the part where the alien comes, he's at the diner,
From
he eats
Alien.
the soup
Yeah.
from Alien, it comes out of his stomach. I was terrified.
Right.
Even though then it goes, hello, my honey.
That's a joke part.
It's a joke part. If I was a kid watching these scary shadow monsters,
sure.
I'm done.
It's PG-13.
You're gonna tell me you're not gonna have you're a kid. You're not gonna have nightmares. Every shadow's gonna turn into a monster.
I don't
one
think
day.
as many as like if you watch Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness.
Okay, but like if I watch that, I'm afraid of reflections. Wanda's gonna come out of a mirror.
Whatever. Don't bring your kids to these movies. It's PG-13. Why were you watching Spaceballs when you were a little kid, Toby?
Why not? Please, Mel Brooks.
Is that part of being Jewish? You have to watch
Mel Brooks is just like on our TVs. We just have a Jewish channel, Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks only, and who's the other? Woody Allen.
Never saw a Woody Allen movie.
Really?
Not one.
Wow. Way to break the stereotypes.
Yeah, thank you.
So this is when Thor first sees Jane Foster Thor, and he doesn't know who it is. And his first thought is,
because he doesn't
let me grab Stormbreaker.
Well, wait, he doesn't see her first.
I'm saying, so he doesn't know who it is. He just sees, he sees Mjolnir flying around.
He sees Mjolnir first.
Yeah, whatever.
No, but that's a big deal because,
Sure. But I'm trying to get to a point that you interrupted, Toby.
Well, because
I'm the one who has to interrupt, not you.
You're right. It's worse when I do it. Ugh.
So I just thought it was funny that his first thought is when he sees someone else wielding Mjolnir is to change his outfit. Right. He like grabs Stormbreaker. I guess Stormbreaker has outfit changing powers.
Can summon
and he summons a new outfit. Why?
Right.
Why is that your first thought?
So Stormbreaker can get the Rainbow Bridge and change outfits.
Cool. And then Jane takes her helmet off.
Right. Well, because he's like puffing out his chest and like, hello.
Yeah. He's trying because he sees a lady Thor.
Right. And
he doesn't know who it is.
Oh, and he does. Honestly, the relationship between Thor and Jane, the entire movie, I thought was so good.
Way better than the other movies because they have no chemistry that I remember.
They have such great chemistry in this. The love scenes, where they're just talking about how much they love each other, I cried. I just whatever they built in this movie, forget the other. I've already forgotten Thor. I already forgot about Thor 4 that I saw on Saturday, and now it's Wednesday. Forget the first movie. I don't remember their relationship.
The best part about the first movie that everyone remembers is Thor throwing the cup.
Another. That's it. Yeah. That's all I've got. You're
the
right.
one joke in that movie.
Right, guys? You don't want more jokes?
And Hawkeye's in it. It's the first time you see Hawkeye.
Ridiculous. You don't want more jokes. I remember that, and I was like, who is that?
I also like, I think this is the part where Korg narrates their love story and when they live together.
Oh.
Which is the first time we actually see them living together and stuff.
Which was
hilarious.
So funny. Wait, sorry. You just reminded me because that's how they're introducing everyone to Thor.
So Korg has these like little stories throughout the movie.
And that is, again, like, why don't you like laughing? Like, what?
Why don't you like fun, internet?
Right, like, who hurt you that you're like, Thor needs to be mean?
Someone serious.
We need like a serious storyteller.
Like,
no.
if you think, I should have said this in the beginning. If you think that this is a worse movie than Eternals, stop watching movies. Stop. Just save yourself.
Your card's revoked.
Stop.
You can do no more.
Please stop. You're making your life miserable. Don't do it. Like, I don't know how you could. I guess I have to ask people, like, do you think Eternals is better? Because you're wrong. Eternals is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I think the real opener question for people is, did you like Eternals? And if they say yes, we don't talk to you anymore. Yeah, you're getting physical. We call violence.
So
today.
boring. I'm so happy I didn't see that in theaters. But I like the idea that the reason why Jane Foster is worthy is because Thor used to talk to Mjolnir about how much he loved her.
Yeah.
And when he talked to Mjolnir about how much he loved Jane, it like made a little the same little inscription that when his dad put the only worthy people can do it. So I don't know the reason in the comics. I have no idea why in the comics is Jane's allowed to use Mjolnir.
Doesn't matter. We don't read the comics.
But in this movie, hilarious that like he would just like whisper to his best friend Mjolnir. Also, this is why I want to bring this up.
Yeah.
So this movie was talked about as like an LGBTQ like love triangle thing where it was going to be a love triangle between like Valkyrie and Jane and Thor. That doesn't really happen. Pretty early on, Valkyrie's like, yeah, no, like not my type. I'm out.
See, now when she did say that though, I thought she was like kidding, but they didn't have that kind of chemistry.
Yeah. The actual love triangle is between Stormbreaker and Mjolnir and Thor. It's hilarious.
Honestly,
Stormbreaker gets jealous.
I just have to say, they did such a good job of making Stormbreaker an axe, a character.
Yes.
There's literally Thor, like Chris Hemsworth did a great job being like, oh my God, Storm. Like,
I wonder if that was like an actual CGI hammer because there's a shot where like,
it's such
so Thor's like talking to Mjolnir and talking to Jane and like you can tell that like he wants to reach for Mjolnir, but he's like still nervous that he's not worthy anymore. And then finally he grabs it and like he's like, okay, I'm still worthy.
Yeah.
And then like Stormbreaker slowly comes in from the side of the frame.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's like, no, I'm not. I don't care about.
Obviously, Stormbreaker doesn't have a face, so you don't know that he's like He's like
glaring at him.
He's like the present girlfriend, right?
Stormbreaker is the new girlfriend,
or the new mate, whatever, like significant other. Like
Mjolnir is the ex that like
is the ex that is now with somebody new.
Yeah.
And it's just the way that they make an inanimate object have feelings.
That's what I'm thinking. Was it like the actual prop, like on a string?
I hope so.
Because that would be hilarious. Like some guy just had it on a string. And
so funny. Please tell us how you did that.
So that's the love triangle. So I guess if you were expecting like an actual love triangle between the three main characters, you do not get that.
Right. If you wanted Valkyrie and Jane making out, like you're not.
Which I'm disappointed by that. Like, come on,
sure.
Marvel. Can we get who plays Valkyrie? Look it up. Because I wouldn't mind that with Natalie Portman. Or Thor making out with Stormbreaker, I think would have been great.
That would have been funnier.
So yeah, I've seen people online being like, this was marketed as like a lesbian thing, like an LGBTQ thing. And I don't know if it was or not, but that's definitely not here. I think they confirmed that Valkyrie's a lesbian, but that's it. They don't actually have a love triangle between the three of them.
No.
They have a more hilarious love triangle between.
And there is also like, there are nods to LGBTQ like relationships, but I feel like that, like, you don't want it to be like you don't want it in your face, you know? Like for me, being Jewish, it was awesome seeing Moon Knight being Jewish. I didn't want to like throw it in my face. Like he was at a shiva, he wore a yarmulke.
Did you just say you don't want LGBTQ things in your face, Toby? Are you a 90-year-old?
No, I mean like because like you don't want it to feel like a big deal. You want it to feel like it's a normal thing. Like this shit. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess, but like instead of making it feel like a normal thing, it's just not in this.
No, it is though, because you have Valkyrie talking about like loving women, like.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Like
Korg.
it's just not like a wow, she's a lesbian. Like high five us.
Exactly, it's like a part of her everyday life. It's very casual, and I feel like that's like it should just be a casual thing.
Good save, Tubbs.
That's what I mean. It's not a save. It's what I mean.
Good save.
Oh my God. It's like how in Miss Marvel, like, it's just casual. She is Muslim.
She's Pakistani. Yeah, I would say that Ms. Marvel definitely has more of Pakistani culture in it.
Well, because it's like part of her. It's like very embedded in her character. But again, it's like a regular thing. We're not like, boom, flash, a new religion, a new ethnicity we're showing. It's just like there. That's what I want. I just want these stories to be there so we can see them without it like making a headline, so it's just part of our life.
That would be nice if we did not have to make headlines out of this, because it was just all part of our lives.
Exactly.
Hammer and Axe love.
Tessa Thompson. We got it.
She was great. Now, I thought she was better in this than the other one. So anyway, they like leave. They're like, let's go to the Greek gods or whatever. And then
because we need an army. We need an army.
And then you see Russell Crowe playing Zeus.
Christian Bale stole all the kids.
Yeah, I said that. He stole all the kids.
I wasn't listening.
Yeah, he stole all the kids. And then you see the awesome scene of like Christian Bale trying to like scare the kids.
Wait. Don't start, because I want to tell this because I thought it was so funny. Thor, one of the kids is Heimdall's son, which is crazy. So he has like the power of sight. And so he like brings Thor. Thor like calms all the kiddies down. Like, we'll find you. We have a plan. No plan. And then Heimdall's kid is like telling a story that Thor literally cut off Thanos' head. And so now Christian Bale comes in and makes this terrifying snake guy and then rips off his head. And all the kids are like, lad! He's like, you liked it a second ago. And
yeah, he's good.
However, I wanted there to be more like fantasizing or like telling this, like, I had a daughter once, like, man, I'm out of practice. Like, that's kind of more of what the relationship I wanted him to have with all these kids, as opposed to just like a scary person, to kind of make the ending like
where
juicier.
He redeems himself, spoiler alert.
Right, like I wanted it to be juicier, like him. I wanted it. You know how we'll talk about it, but like in order for it to be his idea, he needed to talk about his daughter more. Yeah.
And I guess another critique is I think that Christian Bale's only in the movie for like 10 minutes.
Which is not enough.
So more Christian Bale, I think, is a pretty valid critique, that there's not enough of him. But he's expensive, guys.
He is expensive. People were like, we didn't see him kill any gods.
Apparently, according to him, there's been a lot of cut scenes with him. Right. Allegedly, there's a cut scene between him and not Christopher Walken, Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, right.
Where I guess he kills Jeff Goldblum.
Which I'm sure they wanted to cut.
Which is probably an awesome scene.
Right, but who wants that?
Me.
I want to see Jeff Goldblum in more things. Yes.
Well, that's fine. Tell me. Okay, he comes back. He's Jeff Goldblum.
He's back.
Yeah. Jeff Goldblum should be in everything. That character he played was awesome.
I know.
Grandmaster. Flash. As a rapper. So they go to Zeus. They go to they show all the gods. They're in like Godland.
Right. And now what Gino noticed that should have been in there. Where are the Egyptian gods?
Yeah, I wanted a little cameo from the bird guy from Moon Knight.
Right, give a nod to your other Marvel series,
yeah,
guys.
Just like a little joke. Whatever. I guess they didn't know about it. But the best god in the entire scene is a little soup god.
My God, the dumpling.
Little dumpling god.
Yeah, you like that a lot.
Hilarious. Yeah. I can see why, if you're not a fun person, why you would see that little dumpling god and say, this is a serious Marvel movie. I don't like fun.
Well, and I mean, also, I guess
it's hilarious.
It was funny. I guess if you want more Christian Bale, you want to cut those scenes.
No. I want to see what they should have shown was Christian Bale freaking murdering that little dumpling god. He just picks it up and eats it.
Oh my God, that would have been funny.
Yes. I thought that was what they were setting up.
No.
Like, oh, here's a little food god.
They're showing it.
He's going to eat it.
Nah.
But anyway, so Thor asks, hey, can I get an army? Zeus is like, nah. And then he's like, well, give me your weapon. Give me your little lightning weapon.
Wait, you're skipping.
We're not doing the whole.
I'm just talking about like the main parts in this. Like, we get to see Thor's bod here.
Yes,
guys.
this is where, Zeus is like, I don't know. He's like, he's in disguise.
You flick too hard.
Yeah, we saw it in the trailer. Everyone knows that scene.
We saw it in the trailer.
Christian Bale does a lot of squats.
Christian Bale?
No. The other
Chris
guy.
Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth. Too many Chris's.
Listen, you guys. I was like very into that.
This is the full butt. The first full butt we've seen in the MCU.
Full And
they show his tattoos, and he has I love Loki. I miss Loki tattoos.
He has Rip Loki, and then he's got like a list of people. Yeah. Like, this is important stuff that you're skipping over.
Yeah. This is why you're here, Tobes.
This is why I'm here.
Of course, you bring up someone else's butt.
Sorry.
So yeah, then he's like, "Give me your weapon," and they start to like fight all the gods, and then Korg dies.
Oh wait, another.
I perished.
I perished. Honestly, another
Zeus
great
kills
line.
Korg.
Right. So, which was awful, but I guess somebody had to like.
Yeah, but then he doesn't die because he rocks.
Die. Right. So the only part of him alive is his face.
So his face survives. So the rest of the movie, Korg is just like a face.
Yeah.
Korg is awesome in this. I know your best line already is when Zeus is like, "Who's talking?" And Korg's like, "They are."
He just calls him out. This is why you need humor.
Oh, you see
guys?
Korg's god? He's like, I hope my god's here. And like, you see a rock dude who has the exact same voice as Korg. It's still Taika Waititi. Yeah,
it's adorable. Another line that I really liked from that scene was when both of the women were like, "Let's go fight. Let's go steal it." And Thor's like, "Who are you?"
Well, because Jane in this, like the whole point of Jane is like, and this is going to sound sad, is that like she's doing this as a way of like, one, like being strong, and two, like she can't fight her cancer, so she wants to go fight something else. So her whole thing is like, I want to like beat the crap out of everybody, and like I want my superhero line, and like she keeps trying to come up with a superhero line.
So
with
cute,
Thor.
so cute.
But the problem is that every time she uses Mjolnir, it prevents her body from fighting off the cancer. So it's actually going to make her die faster.
Right.
For me, I would just use it all the time then.
Right, but then you're just
never transform.
Right, but then
you're gonna die.
But she
anyway.
like couldn't. There was like a scene where she like let go, like she fell,
and then she. I think she has to be holding, or like she has to be using the hammer.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. Also, I just remembered Kat Dennings couldn't say Mjolnir.
Meow. Oh, she doesn't say it again in this?
No, she didn't say it. No. But I was just remembering like meow. Yeah. So funny.
So yeah, so Valkyrie and Jane Foster just want to beat the crap out of everybody and kill everybody.
Funny.
So anyway, Zeus throws the lightning bolt at Thor. He grabs it, throws it back, kills Zeus, or did he? And then they fight all the gods, and they leave with the lightning bolt and a Korg face. And then they have the little romance scene where they're on the boat, they're going towards the Shadow Realm.
Oh, right.
Throwback to Yu-Gi-Oh! The old Yu-Gi-Oh! Cartoon. They couldn't talk about death because it was an American cartoon. Oh. So instead of saying that people were dying, they would just say they got banished to the Shadow Realm.
Oh, but they died.
So they said Shadow Realm.
Yeah.
In like the original Japanese, they were dying.
Oh.
Yeah, good stuff. So the best part of this scene, so yeah, Jane and and Thor have their thing. But the best part is Korg describing how his species mates, where it's because they're all men in his species. So they're like, two rock men grab hands and then they stick their hands in lava for like 10 days. And then a little baby comes out.
It's adorable.
Hilarious.
I loved it.
Yeah, and this is, I guess, where Thor finds out that Jane has cancer.
Right, because this is what, yeah. And just they just love each other. Like, the reason that they grew apart, like when they have their whole montage, was because
Natalie Portman refused to come back for the third movie.
That's really why.
That's real, yeah. I don't know how they convinced her for this one, but
because Ragnarok did such a good job. I'm assuming.
Yeah, she probably really liked Ragnarok.
Yeah,
because I can see like not wanting to do more Thor movies after the first two Thor movies were bad.
Right.
And they didn't bring her back for any of the Avengers movies. I don't think she's in them.
I feel like she's in like she isn't, but they bring her in.
They like mention her.
Right. Well, no, she's got like scenes or whatever, but it's not her. And then I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, they just like grew. They were so afraid of like losing each other that like that's essentially what they did.
Thor was leaving all the time to go be an Avenger.
Right. And then like she was getting into her work. She wrote a book. So like it's just like they didn't stop loving each other. That's what's so sweet about it. And then they make out. And then they're in the Shadow Realm.
Is this as weird as Loki making out with his other version of himself?
No.
Because like Thor's making out with like another Thor.
No.
She even gets like long blonde hair when she turns into Thor.
She does, but she's not a Thor. Also, I didn't find it weird when Loki made out with other Loki.
You would make out with another like a male version of yourself? They'd be short.
Why not? Couldn't they be tall?
No, if they're a male version of you, they're going to be short.
What are you talking about? There's a crocodile, alligator Loki.
Right. So, but like they'd probably be short.
They could be anything. There's a giant
Right.
Loki.
So then it's not you. Then I guess
it's not me.
Okay. But what if it was just you from a different universe with a Y chromosome? They're probably going to be short.
If they're going to be short,
then
can't
you're
do
out.
it.
You suck. You suck.
My neck wouldn't hurt as bad because I wouldn't have to go like this.
Yeah. Sorry. Then some awesome the next scene. It's like some awesome like independent filmmaker stuff. Oh, they're in the shadow realm, so there's no color.
Yeah.
But the only thing that has color, I think, is their eyes, and their weapons like radiate light.
Such a good
that scene was
choice.
Awesome. Like, yeah, that was great. Why do people not like this movie?
Whatever you guys think is not cinematic, you're wrong.
So they go to the shadow realm. So they try and they fight
because it's a trap. They think this is where the kids are. They're not there.
So basically, Christian Bale's whole thing is that he wants to go to this being called Eternity, because if he gets to Eternity, he can make a wish and wish for all the gods to die. And the only way to get there is with the Bifrost, which is like the Asgardian teleporty thing.
Right, which we learn.
So he needs Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker. And we learn this literally in the shadow realm, because Jane sees a picture. She's like, and then she like throws Stormbreaker away. This is actually a really cool scene. Again, being choked for like a long period of time.
Yeah, but they're not human.
I guess so. So essentially, like, they have to fight off these shadow monsters again, and they get caught.
And there's a scene where Christian Bale keeps trying to make Thor call back Stormbreaker,
right?
And he keeps refusing, and yada yada yada.
And he does such a great job. He like calls each of them one by one, and he
calls them out for their problems,
right? Like, good Valkyrie, but because he's also building that general understanding, like, your gods aren't there for you. Like, right? Because he's like, Valkyrie, your god let all of your sisters die.
And your girlfriend? It's confirmed that she had a Valkyrie girlfriend?
Right. So, and he like sends her back. And then Jane, like, oh, you're dying. And like,
your god's not going to do anything about it.
Right. So I'm not going to.
I know I'm a little disappointed. I know they can't do this because it's controversial.
What?
Where was Jesus? Show Jesus with the other God. Yeah, Jesus is God. Wouldn't that have, I know they would have gotten in a lot of trouble, but would that not have been hilarious if like Jesus was in this?
Where's my God?
Well, that's hard showing like God.
Why not? Just pull a God from Monty Python. No. The God from Monty Python.
Or just a burning bush. Show a burning bush.
That's my God.
I guess they're going to like ignore the Christian God and the Jewish God.
Yeah. And I guess the American gods, we don't count.
I mean, like, power level wise, Jewish God and Christian God is like above all of the like Greek gods. Doesn't he kill a bunch of like the Egyptian gods in... You listen to the Passover stories.
I don't.
He like kills all the Egyptian gods.
No, like, I've just started listening to each paragraph one by one. Each year I learn something new because I'm listening to a new paragraph.
I think it's hilarious that when we first started dating, I knew more about, because like for any of the Jewish people out there, like Catholics learn about the Old Testament, which is the Torah. So we know all those stories. I knew more about them than Toby did. And Toby learns about it every year.
Every year. And I also think your memory is stronger than mine because, like, I learned this in Hebrew school.
Well, because you didn't learn it in English. I learned it in English.
I did learn it in English. But just to be clear, I learned it from 2nd to 7th grade.
You didn't watch VeggieTales when you were in the show at Hebrew school?
VeggieTales is a Christian show.
Yeah, but most of the stories are the Old Testament.
No, we learned Hebrew.
I don't think there's a single VeggieTales about Jesus. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. It's all Old Testament. You can't do Veggie Jesus.
We didn't.
You do Veggie Moses.
Why?
Or Veggie, because Passover. There's definitely
Jesus isn't Passover.
Right. So I'm saying I don't think there are any VeggieTales episodes about Jesus.
They didn't do a Passover one?
That's not Jesus.
Isn't that where he died?
No. Oh, no.
That's where he gets
Yeah, he's celebrating Passover.
Right.
But I'm saying I think most of the VeggieTales episodes are about the Old Testament.
I didn't watch any. We had a book. We had a textbook that we stuck to.
We did too.
Yeah. So you had a textbook?
Yeah, we had a freaking
Not the Bible.
Yeah, I had to do homework and everything. It was sucked.
Too. Yeah. No.
I hated it. Ugh. Anyway, so no Jesus in this movie. Thumbs down.
Boo.
Can you imagine if Gore kills Jesus? Oh my God.
That would cause an uproar.
People would be pissed.
Yeah, people would be upset about that.
All right. Well, Marvel.
It said he killed a giant monster.
He kills a bunch of giant monsters. Zeus dies. Thor just kills Zeus. Or does he? Anywho, Shadow Realm stuff was awesome. The planet that they're on is tiny.
The fight was so good.
They're just so it's like, have you ever played? You haven't played this, but for those who played Mario Galaxy, there's a lot of that in this because they're on a tiny little planetoid running around, and like when they throw like a attack one way, it goes around the entire planet. A lot of Mario Galaxy stuff there, but anyway. He steals Stormbreaker.
Right, like right at the end too. Obviously, he's gonna get Stormbreaker because I was thinking about this, and it's the same thing with Avengers Infinity War. The bad guy has to get the thing that he needs.
Yeah, you need to have
So he's gonna get Stormbreaker. We have to like. We would have had another act in between the end if he didn't get it. So he got Stormbreaker.
So he goes to Eternity. Yeah. They go back to Earth. Valkyrie got stabbed in the kidneys, so she has to stay at the hospital.
Oh yeah, survives though.
Jane is dying, so she has to go to the hospital and get chemo.
Yeah.
And this is where the doctor tells Thor, like, if she keeps turning into Thor, it like prevents her body from fighting the cancer.
In so many words.
The
doctor's like, something's preventing her from doing this, and he's like, oh no.
So Thor's like, listen, stay here. I'm gonna go fight what's his face and get the kids.
And this was also really sweet too because he's like, I just love you so much and I want us to have a future. And if you pick up Mjolnir again,
you're gonna die.
You're gonna die. We won't have a future together.
Yeah. So go fight your cancer.
I'll fight Gore.
So he goes to where Eternity is. And all the kids are there, and they're about to get crushed by a
And
giant rock, and then he saves the kids.
And
then this scene also got criticized. Anyone who criticizes, because there's kids in it, and it's dumb. If you don't like this scene, you're a bad person. Thor, I guess, who has now the powers of Odin, gives the children, he said, go grab some weapons.
Yeah.
They just grab like random pieces of like rocks and stuff. I was honestly wondering
where we were going with this.
Thor gives them Thor powers. He gives them the power of Thor. He says very, very temporarily. Gives them the power of Thor.
Could you imagine if your students had the power of Thor?
Hilarious. So he goes to this, he gets his army, but it's just a whole bunch of little kids.
Just a bunch of kids. One kid's got a stuffed rabbit. Like, hilarious.
And they're like murdering. So they fight off the shadow monsters.
Right.
And they're like ripping them in half. There's like one girl in a little princess dress.
And she's got a wand.
Who slices them in half. It's hilarious.
Like, I'm going to tell you, if you, like, go away if you thought this scene was dumb.
It's hilarious in the same way that like in Jojo Rabbit, like part of the funniness is the little kids being Nazis.
The little kid throwing grenades.
Yeah.
Like,
it's hilarious. Like, that's hilarious.
I feel like Taika Waititi, as a child, must love working with children.
Yeah, he must.
Because I think any other director would be like, this many kids on set? No, thank you.
Yeah, and like any other movie with kids sucks.
Because
we just criticized like Obi-Wan with their use of little kids. Not that she was bad. But like,
we're gonna get to that because
this was hilarious.
It's so funny, and also like, what else do you want to do with all these kids? Leave them in a cage?
No. Give him the power of Thor.
Right, because otherwise, one, Thor loses because he's got to fight all these shadow monsters by himself, and Gore, and get Stormbreaker out of the ground.
But like 30 Thors.
But like 30 baby Thors. Hilarious.
So then he goes to fight Gore, and then he's losing, and then Mjolnir like floats up.
Right.
Somehow she gets there. I don't know. I don't think Mjolnir has the power to teleport, but whatever.
Let Jane live her life.
So Jane gets there. She saves Thor, and she like one of her powers is like she can split apart Mjolnir.
So cool.
So Mjolnir like splits apart and like absorbs the Necro Sword and blows it up.
Yeah.
But at this point, Gore's already gotten to Eternity.
Well, so while that's happening, Thor is trying to get Stormbreaker to like stop, and he's like
yelling at it.
He's like, Stormbreaker, what are you doing?
Yeah,
again, like it's a character. Yeah. So funny.
So they get to Eternity, and then Gore's going to make his wish. And now this is another part of the movie where I'm a little critical of, because Gore's about to wish for all the gods to die.
Right.
Natalie Portman's dying, by the way, because she has cancer. So
right.
the cancer's getting her. And Thor tells Gore, this is so stupid. These whole things are so stupid. Hey, you should wish for your daughter back.
Right, like we know what you want is love. We all want love.
So bring the movie's called Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder.
We did the thunder.
Right.
Do the love.
Yeah, it's up to you.
I wish that it was always his plan to get the daughter back. So that way it's like, no, dude, I just wanted to. Right,
like I had to kill these gods to find the key to get to eternity in order to wish my daughter back, which is why I think
but then it wouldn't make sense. Like, why is he going around killing all these gods?
I just told you why.
Right.
He had to find the key to eternity,
Then
and
just
it was
go
with
after
one of the
Thor
gods.
immediately.
Right, but maybe he didn't know that he needed Stormbreaker right away.
Maybe.
So, like, it could have been, that's just a different kind of again, I'm such a good writer.
You're such a good writer.
That should have been a different backstory. Or, like, which is why I wish he'd mentioned or even if it was Thor's idea, he'd mentioned his daughter more, because he did throughout the movie kind of talk about his daughter.
Yeah.
And it just needed to be more present,
Yeah.
so this made more sense.
But in the actual movie, it's Thor's idea, and then Gore's like, I can't because she won't have anyone to raise her.
Right, because he's going to die now because his sword is gone.
Natalie Portman, who's dying, by the way, is like, don't worry, Thor will raise her.
Don't worry, Daddy Thor's here.
What?
I don't want him to be alone.
What if Thor's like, no?
Right, he's like, I don't want a kid.
Oh, by the way, Christian Bale's daughter in this.
Chris Hemsworth?
The Gore's daughter is played by Chris Hemsworth's
daughter.
Who does a great job. So yeah, then Gore dies. They wish back Chris Hemsworth, who now has the powers of eternity apparently in her. Like they show her reflection, and it's eternity, and that's why she has laser beam eyes. So yeah, and then the movie ends with Thor raising his new daughter, who is Chris Hemsworth's actual daughter.
And they have such good. So here is where we're
Of course, they have good chemistry. It's his daughter.
It's his daughter. But this is what Obi-Wan was missing.
Yes.
Because Thor is trying to still be the authoritarian, tell her what to do, train her.
He's trying to, yeah.
And she's
He's
sassy.
making her pancakes.
And but she's sassy back, and they have this great chemistry.
And he shoots laser eyes at her because she wants to
at
wear.
him.
She wants to wear
just slippers,
and he won't let her. And then she shoots laser eyes at him.
Right, and you think it's because she's going to school. She's actually going to battle.
And because she has what weapons? She uses Stormbreaker.
Yeah,
and he uses Mjolnir again.
Yeah, they switch.
So he has Mjolnir, she has Stormbreaker, and they go around killing bad guys.
Right, and but just back to my Obi-Wan thing, like that was what was missing, was Obi-Wan being the authoritarian who like tells her what to do, and then Leia's dialogue just had to be better. Like it's not Leia's fault. Her dialogue.
You can't use Obi-Wan's actual daughter and his daughter, Ewan McGregor's daughter is actually in Obi-Wan. She plays like the drug one. She has like some girl in like one of the second episodes that tries to sell Obi-Wan drugs.
Oh yeah,
that's Ewan McGregor's actual.
You know
daughter.
what? They had better chemistry.
They had better chemistry than Obi-Wan and Leia. Yeah, of course, it's a real life daughter. So okay, Disney, Bob Iger. I don't know who's in charge of Disney anymore. Walt Disney, listen to me.
This is what we want.
I don't think that just showing Thor and Eternity, or I don't know what her name is.
It's now Love and Thunder.
Sure, is enough for an entire movie, but it is more than enough for a Disney Plus miniseries. Please make a Disney Plus miniseries of Chris Hemsworth and his daughter just going around beating people up.
This is what we need. We need their story.
Even if it's 1 or 2 episodes, just do it.
No, give me 6. You're going to give me 6 of Miss Marvel and we're not crazy about it. You're going to give me 6 of Thor, Love and Thunder because we're going to love it.
Beating people up.
Please.
I just love this little tiny girl wielding this giant hammer.
Axe.
Yeah, so awesome. I want more of it. There's definitely going to be more Thor movies. Let's talk about the end credit scene real quick.
Well, they even said that. It's like Thor coming.
Thor will return, I think.
Yeah, Thor will return.
Yeah.
That's right, Thor. All you people complaining is still going to happen.
Yeah, screw you. These movies are awesome. So the end credit scene, Zeus is not dead. He's alive.
Right.
And he's complaining about, like, people don't like the gods anymore. Mortals suck. Like, we're going to kill them. And then some guy's like, don't worry, Dad. And it's freaking...
It's Brett Goldstein.
Brett Goldstein with the hairiest chest on Earth. Like, I thought I have a hairy chest.
No.
He's got a hairy chest. He's playing Hercules. He's playing Hercules.
Listen.
Roy Kent playing Hercules.
I died. I like squeezed Gino. Like
I was like, whoa.
I honestly don't think I got as excited in any of the other movie as I did seeing Brett Goldstein.
Is it because
you
love Brett Goldstein, or because your favorite Disney movie is Hercules?
Oh my God, I did really love Hercules.
You didn't put the two together?
I didn't. I think for me, though,
This is bad guy Hercules, though.
Yeah, but so for me, it was seeing Brett Goldstein because I love Roy Kent so much.
I don't think before, like, he hasn't acted before.
He's a writer.
Right, so before Ted Lasso. So, like, good for him.
He got an Emmy.
Yeah, good for him.
So, like, he's making moves, being part of the MCU. Somehow he better come back. And if he doesn't drop one F-bomb.
I don't think so. You said that in the theater. He better drop some F-bombs.
He better drop some F-bombs.
Your one PG-13 F-bomb. They wouldn't even let Samuel L. Jackson drop an F-bomb. Remember
I know.
He disintegrates and he's about to say it?
Right, and that's like part of his...
And he owns F.
You know what, though? Roy Kent is a close second.
Well, Samuel L. Jackson is Mother F.
Right.
Roy Kent is just regular British F, which is not as... You think they do their first F-bomb for Roy? Yeah, do it.
Do it.
Give me F-bomb.
Come on, Hercules, bad Hercules definitely curses.
Now, did he use his regular British accent? I don't remember.
I think so.
Because he should use the same goofy Greek accent that...
I think it was British.
That Russell Crowe used.
Yeah, no, I think it was British.
Russell Crowe's so good in this.
Honestly didn't even know.
He's like a fat, like, hedonist Zeus. I love it.
It was very funny. So somebody got upset on Twitter. Was like so
upset. Are Greek people upset?
No, that's not what I thought.
Oh, okay.
Because the big reveal of what Zeus is actually wearing, it's a toga. So it's like an open at the bottom.
Oh, he goes down the stairs.
He
I would love to think that was something Russell Crowe came up with on his own.
I think that was a Russell Crowe choice as well.
He just did it and he just left it in.
And hilarious. Like, so funny. So I literally had no idea.
I don't know why I'm coughing. I'm just breathing a bug.
Oh.
If you didn't like this movie, you're a bad person.
You're a bad person.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
It's a good
funny
movie. It's a funny movie. Like, why are you upsetting yourself seeing all these sad...
Just have fun. Just be fun.
I just can't even.
Listen, you're entitled to your opinion, but your opinion is wrong.
You're not. Your opinion's wrong.
Opinion's wrong. Okay?
Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I want more. Like I want more. Give me more. I want a Disney Plus show of Korg.
Oh my God, Meek is in this again. And that was so funny.
I forgot Meek's a girl. And so Meek they show Meek.
Right, Meek has eggs.
So Meek is King Valkyrie's
stenographer?
Yeah, like her sister, or whatever. And she wears like a woman's like Hillary Clinton power suit.
So funny.
Hilarious. And it's like just in the background. Hilarious.
Like again.
There's just so many little things. That's why I want to watch this movie again.
Me too, because I want to be reminded of all of the small comedic parts of it, which is why, like, I think you're wrong. If you didn't like this movie, you're wrong.
I think my initial thoughts were that Thor Ragnarok is better. Now that I'm discussing it, I think I might like this more than Thor Ragnarok, but I got to watch it again.
I think this has smaller parts. Thor Ragnarok, again, I think people really liked. Because, there's like a bird being upset out there. I don't know if it just got hurt.
Is that like a toucan?
No, it's a dove. It's got its wing up.
Like not being able to fly.
Yeah, so okay, I'll check on that after. But anyway, because Thor Ragnarok had characters we were more familiar with, right? It had Hulk, it had Loki. So like...
Oh yeah, there's no Loki in this. That's a big downside.
So like, and that movie had maybe more heart in a different way because it had the relationships people were used to. So people liked that more. But like, again, this movie was fun. Go to the theaters and have fun.
Just be fun.
Just be a fun person.
We already got sad Thor in Endgame.
Not fun.
But that was the point. That's why I liked it. Thor in Endgame.
Right.
He's supposed to be sad.
Right, he's supposed to be
His
sad.
whole race died. His parents died.
Right,
so we already got sad Thor. Like, this is fun Thor.
Okay.
Have fun.
Have fun. That's it. Well, thank you for listening to For Better or Worse. If you like what you heard and want to know more, visit our website, forbetterorworse.buzzsprout.com, and subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever you use so you never miss an episode. Like and subscribe to our show on YouTube so you can see what we look like and watch our cat who made some appearances today. To let us know what you think, comment, leave a 5-star review, ring the bell. It really helps the show. Do the things on all of those platforms. And then see you next time when we talk more movies
and TV.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.